Hello and welcome. So this is my all about books video where I share some of the books that I've read, and I'm trying to challenge myself by reading a book a month for this video. And I love reading books, and so this is June the 2022, and so the book that I finished for this month um, this month was a book called The Very Thought of You, and it's by Rosie Addison, and basically it's based around the Second World War, where Anna Sands travels to an evacuee school in Yorkshire, and is set up, and you find out that the school was set up by a gentleman named Thomas and a lady named Elizabeth Ashton, and they opened up the school because they found was having a challenge to conceive a child, and so and then there's a bit of a love story, a couple of love stories involved in the book as well, which is really good. Not realistic, this could have been a biography, because it was so well written and so easy to read, and I love reading books about that time of life because it keeps the memory of my grandparents alive, and so that's why I love reading those stories about the war. And I've read different ones, and this is one of the best ones I've read, and I'll give it a 10 out of 10. I can see I bought it from a charity shop, but if it may still be published on Amazon. That's why I tend to look for books as well. But if I go to charity shop and I see a book, I'll pick it up, because I've had a Kindle, but I love holding a book in my hand when I'm reading, rather than a device. So, and I picked this one up, and I'm so glad I did, and I would give it a 10 out of 10. Then the book I'm reading, to continue on my books for a month. So I've kind of overlapped a month, but I did finish up by, it's just the beginning of June. So I'm now reading this book called The Things We Cannot Say. I've got it from the works because I often do deals where you can buy 3 books for £5. And this is also a mixture of war and around 2019. I'm still not getting to grips really with the story as I've started to read it, but as I read it, I'm sure I'll get more understanding of the book as I read it. But this is one I can't read in a minute. I'm on chapter 4, and so far it's been, I'm talking about it's first person written with different characters, and the first person that chooses the story is a lady called Alice, and then a lady called Alina, and so they caught my eye. Again, I love these types of stories, and so I did take advantage of the offer, but they're in the shelf, and I will read them as well. But I just found some really good ones recently, so I'm going to show you now. The books that I've bought from the charity shop, and we're doing £1 per book, and I've read a book by Alex Shaw called the Eddie Savage thriller books, and it was a really good book, and I even went and bought the second one, which I did show in a previous video, and so that's why I picked this up. It's called Total Blackout. It is based in London, even though if you've seen my previous all my books, it could have been written in America as well. But a really good book, and I'm glad that I found this one, so I definitely had to read it because I'm really getting into his books, and I bought the next book of the Eddie Savage thriller. I'll probably read that first before I read this one. But yeah, so I picked that one up. Then I found this book that caught my eye. It's called Our Endless Number Days, and it was part of the Waterstones Book Club originally by Claire Fuller. And I loved it as soon as I saw it and got to grips with the story. It's about extraordinary, chilling, brilliantly imagined. From the opening sentence, it is gripping, said the Sunday Times. Peggy is 8 years old when her father takes her to live in a cabin in a remote European forest. There he tells her that her mother and the rest of the world are gone. Now 2 of them must scratch a living from the earth, trapping squirrels, foraging for berries, surviving the winter as best as they can. So it seems very mystical, and that's why it just drew my attention straight away. So I'm really looking forward to getting into that book. Then this is a book called The Destroy the Dark, Take the Throne, The Shadow Queen by C.J. Redwine. And it's about Mirror Mirror, and it's Lorelei, powerful enchantress, vengeful fugitive crown princess. She must kill the wicked queen who took both the Ravenspire throne and the life of her father. It seems really interesting to read that book. And then I found this one called Rebecca Chance, and it's Bad Sisters, and it's and it seems like it is. So Dee Dee is a girlfriend of Hollywood Hunk, a secretly gay Hollywood Hunk. But when her girlfriend contracts up, his cutthroat publicist wants Dee Dee out. Dejected and penniless, Dee Dee heads back to London, where she hopes to re-establish links with her 2 estranged older sisters, only to find herself struggling with a forbidden attraction. So that sounds really good to read. So they are my books that I bought recently. I can't wait to read. And that's it. There'll be more next month, and I will try my hardest to finish this one by the next video. And I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.